Oops, I had myself downstage again. Hey friends, how's everybody doing? We got Highland Girl in and Trip the Light Fantastic and Brandy K. Yes, happy Father's Day to any dads listening. I know what 1970 is listening at work. He had to be at work again today. So yeah, anyone out there? Rainbow Ribbons, glad you made it. Good to see y'all in. So yeah, I was hanging out here while 1970s at work and decided we would go live and read some more of the Mackenzie and Dom texts. Hey, 1970 in here in the house. Yeah, these Mackenzie and Dom texts are really revealing, and I just haven't honestly quite totally made my mind up yet on what all exactly they reveal. I mean, they both seem a little cray. Hey, Blake 1723, glad to have you in here. Let me bring up the messages real quick. All right. So where we left off on the last one from Dom. Hey, Ruth Carroll, good to see you. Where we left off in the last one from Dom, he said, I'm selling. Because, we know that Dom did some dealing. And, it seems like that from his text might have been his primary source of income, but I know we've heard from his family that he did crypto and had a clothing line. Haven't seen that yet in the text, but we're only in 2020, so that might have come later. Hey, Elena K. She says, hey there, everyone. Got y'all in my ear while I'm doing some cleaning. Happy Father's Day to all the dads and moms who have to play both roles. Absolutely. Hey, Cal Tato. But yeah, happy Father's Day to all the dads listening. Dads of every kind. But yeah, our last message from Dom here says, I'm selling. And Kenzie says, scoop. Bored AF right now. Dom says, I can't scoop. And Kenzie says, why? But do you want to chill in like 10? Dom says, I'm at home. I'm not that busy anymore, waiting for Smeesh to come through. That was weird because just a minute ago, oh no, I guess it was like 10 minutes ago, he said he was selling. I guess that's plenty of time to get home. Anyway, Mackenzie says, oh, well, do you want to hang then? Dom says, when? Mackenzie says, now or in like 30, soon pretty much. Dom says, no, probably later if we do. Mackenzie says, damn, how much later are you thinking? I've been just chilling at my house. And now if you remember last time we were reading just a couple of weeks ago, Dom was begging her for space, and she kept saying, well, if you need space, literally all you have to do is ask. Just say so. And he's like, okay, I want 2 or 3 days to myself. And she's like, what? Absolutely not. And immediately starts begging him to come over every single morning. Check comments real quick. Hey, Stacy the OG, good to see you in here. Definitely so. Definitely so. Okay. Dom says, soon as Sue, something. Mackenzie says, okay, but for real, we should get food. I have money. And Dom says, yeah, I need food. Mackenzie says, me too. I want something smack. What you doing now? Why you just let it ring? I hate having nothing to do. Can we hang out at 6 or 7? Did they come through? Dom says, yeah, I'm about to leave and sell some shit with Marco, though. Oh, okay. Leaving to go sell again. And he's selling with people. So there seems to be, a little network going on. Let me get a drink of water, y'all. Mackenzie says, damn. Well, when you're back, can I come over? Dom says, maybe, yeah. Mackenzie says, all right, bet. Dom says, maybe. Mackenzie says, too okay, I guess. So can I come? Dom, yeah, sure, come over. Mackenzie says, right now, and LOL, the emoji, I'm on the way. Where are you? And she gets there, and Dom says, I'm home. My mom is drunk, and I'm really pissed off. Just stay in there. Mackenzie says, okay, sorry. Dom says, she's really pissing me off and about to F up dinner. Mackenzie says, oh no, I really couldn't tell. I talked to her when I came in. And then that's the end of their texting that day. So apparently at some point they must have got in the same room or something. As the next morning, Mackenzie says, text me when you up. And Dom says, I'm up. Mackenzie says, want to hang out? I slept so good. Babe, when you gonna done? Babe, when you gonna done doing whatever you doing? Dom says, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Might go work out. Mackenzie says, oh, okay, well, after hit me up because I want to come through. Mackenzie, let me know what you're doing and when we can hang. Joey in the hospital. Babe, chill it too. Don't forget about me. Dom says, can you get dropped off? If not, I'll bring my car. Mackenzie says, yeah, on the way. Dom says, okay, bet. Mackenzie says, well, now my mom isn't here. Dom says, okay, I'll come. Mackenzie says, okay, come right now. And Dom says, here. This is one of the few times I've seen him actually come get her. Mackenzie says, so that was at 17:23. Dom picked her up. And then looks like about an hour or two later, Mackenzie texts him and says, so you just going to go sit out there now? Dom says, I said game. Mackenzie says, oh, I didn't hear. I thought you just slammed the door. Can I come? Dom. So I take it he's probably going outside and playing basketball or something. I don't know. I'm confused, but they're doing that weird thing where when he actually does let her to the house or she's there, then he just kind of goes to another room or outside or maybe even to his mom's house and totally ignores her. Hey, Kung Fu Panda. Hope you're doing good today. Absolutely, Ruth Carroll. She nags him every second of every day. And Dawn doesn't act like an angel in these texts. He leads her on at times, but will not give him a moment's peace. Hey, Joe King Rogue, no problem. No problem. Hopefully you were enjoying some Father's Day. Brandy K says, crap, Panda, Winnie the Pooh, my bad. Highland Girl says, hey, Kung Fu, hope Pup is doing okay. Yes, Kung Fu got some bad test results about our prince the other day, so we've been keeping him in our thoughts. Hey, V-Nell, good to see you. Cherokee Girl says she better get her butt here quick. I'm fixing to go to the store. I don't know who Cherokee's talking to there. That's funny. Okay, let me go back to the messages. Dom says, you can come if you want. McKenna says, I obviously want to. Dom says, you want to get food. Oh, then we go to the next day again. So they must have stayed together on the second a while, or I don't know. Dom says, you want to get food the next day. Mackenzie says, yes, what food? Dom says, what you want to get? Mackenzie says, I don't care, Chick-fil-A or anything. I'm just hungry AF. Dom says, we have leftover pizza I can throw in the oven. Mackenzie says, if you want. I don't really want that, but if you're hungry, you can do it. Dom says, I don't know when I can get the car. Mackenzie says, oh, true, and I have to leave at 3:30. Is Angelo home? Dom says, probably sleeping. Mackenzie says, oh, then just ask him to borrow the car. Your dad here, I think. Dom says, Angelo is sleeping. Mackenzie says, I don't know, if you want, you can just make the pizza. I don't want to DoorDash. Shit is too much. Dom says, yeah, you're going to be leaving when I get home anyway. Mackenzie says, really? No, you're going to be home at like 2:40 or 50 or something, probably. Dom says, yeah, in like 45 minutes. Mackenzie says, I don't know, we'll figure it out. Dom says, figure out what? Mackenzie says, what we eat? Dom says, how? We have no time. You're going to have to figure something out before you starve at work. Mackenzie says, if I don't eat anything here, I'll just eat some shit when I'm home. Dom says, okay. Mackenzie says, but if you think of some, text me. It's still nice out. Dom says, LK? Mackenzie says, me and Vinny cool. He came up to Taco Bell. Dom says, coolio. And then he says, keel boats. I think that was an autocorrect. Autocrap, I like to call it. Mackenzie says, LOL, what? Dom says, you want picked up from work. And that's wild. I rarely see him just offer to come get her or hang out like that, but he is. this day? Mackenzie says, yeah, if you can. It's slow AF today. Dom says, well, it is a Monday. Mackenzie says, yeah, but now I'm bored. Creepy ass is here. Dom says, I don't know who that is. The slow kid? What time you need picked up? Aw. Mackenzie says, the kid who ate a live fish at our old lunch table. Oh, Lord, yuck. Mackenzie says, I'm probably like 9:30. I'll let you know sooner. Say shit on Joey's YOLO. I just said something so funny. I feel like I might be able to leave soon. Question. Because he says, why the F would you tell me you can get me and then not answer any of my effing calls? I've just been waiting here. Really, I'm so mad right now. I need weed. Dom, text me back. I wish you knew how it felt when you do this. Answer right now. I'm not effing coming over. So Dom said you want picked up at work at 18:26, and then it was 20:36, 20:37 when she says, I feel like I'm ready to leave soon, and apparently started calling him because she's like, what, it's about 45 minutes later when she says, why the F would you tell me you can get me and then not answer any of my calls? And that is pretty shitty, he legit said, you want picked up from work. And she said, yeah, if you can. And here at 18:53 says what time you need picked up. And then apparently ghosted her for some reason. And Dom says, I'm going to bed. Mackenzie says, it's so mean when you do this. You should have just said you couldn't get me. You feel I waited 10 minutes thinking you were ignoring me. Dom says, sorry, I thought you said 9:30. Mackenzie says, I said 9:30 or sooner. It's fine. Oh, but I'm bummed AF right now. I'm getting weed tomorrow when I come. Brought mandatory work on the day of Trippy. What? I'm either getting fired or he's letting me call off. What does she mean? Mandatory work on the day of Trippy? Or maybe she meant on the day of Trip and that was auto crap again. Let me check the comments again real quick. Hey, Miss Hi-Fi, good to see you. Glad to see you in here. Hey, Prentice1, good to see you as well. Prentice1 won one of my book giveaway lives. I need to do another one of those soon. I've just been really curious about getting through these texts because it's fascinating how different their relationship is than anything we've heard from any of the Shirillas. And yeah, there's a lot different than the details we've heard put out there. Bruce is like Ruth's Sasha Fierce. Does Ruth have a alter ego there? Alter ego of Bruce. Rainbow ribbons. Is High Apprentice? Yeah, it is. I'd be super pissed. Yeah, it's weird. She really didn't seem that pissed about it later on in the night. And I don't know. Maybe he called and explained something to her. I don't know. Don't know what the deal is there. Amos says, as a parent, if my daughter's boyfriend treated her like Dawn treats Kenzie, I wouldn't have let her go live with him. Yeah, I really, really get the feeling that Kenzie's dad was buying from Dawn. Amos says, to be fair, they're both toxic AF. Bet. So true. So true. Don was saying his mom was. He told Kenzie he could come over and then instantly, once she got there, told her to stay outside or stay in another room or something, that he was mad because his mom was drunk. So really strange. Okay, let me switch back to these. Dom says, okay. And Kenzie, this is just after midnight the next day. Kenzie says, damn, you up now? Want to FaceTime before I sleep? If you don't want to, it's okay because I'll see you tomorrow. Dom says, well, he doesn't answer until 6:45 the next day. He says, I didn't even know you were up or going to sleep. Mackenzie says, LMAO what? Like last night? Dom says, yeah. Mackenzie says, yeah, you must have been sleepy. Can I come a little early so I can see you longer? Dom says, I gotta get ready for school though. Kenzie says, I know. I have one of those weird bumps on my back, but I'm asking if I can get a ride with my dad at 7. Dom says, sure. Kenzie says, did I leave my computer at your house? Dom says, yeah. Mackenzie says, oh, all right. I got scared AF. I'm coming soon. Where you at, bid? You don't have to make me wait out here. This is such a recurring theme of him telling her she can go ahead and come over and then like making her wait and blah, blah, blah. Because right here, she said, I'm asking if I can get a ride with my dad at 7, after she asked if she could come over. And Dom said, sure. And then he confirmed that her computer's at his house. And then she gets there. So where you at, babe? And then she says, you don't have to make me wait out here. And Dom says, I can't have you come in the morning anymore because I need to be able to get to school on time. So leave me alone till I leave. And Mackenzie says, really, you're going to go there? Thanks so much. Thanks for effing up my year. Now I can't get to school. I'm so mad right now. And like, honestly, that is screwed up. Like, he said she could come over right around 7. And then at 8, he's like, no, stay outside. I can't have you coming over in the morning. You know, that's within like an hour, complete switch. Just weird. Dom says, your year? Inward, you can come over, you can come after I leave or something. Mackenzie says, we were ducking around. It's not just my fault that the door is effed. What does she do with the door? Did she mess up the door? She says, I won't have a ride, Dom. I have a ride 6:30, 7:30. You can't just be mad at me. Dom, okay, well then you can come at 7:30 and wait in my living room. Mackenzie, wow. Dom, don't flip on me. I have way more shit to deal with. Mackenzie, so loving. And I don't. You flip on me every day. Dom, okay, this convo is over. Mackenzie, I just sit there and let you because what the F am I supposed to do? Dom says this convo is over. Mackenzie says, get mad? No, then you just get more mad and make me feel like shit when it was both of us. Dom says, maybe if you didn't harass me every second of every day. Mackenzie, harass? Are you kidding me? Dom says, I beg to get a day away from you, and if anything more, it's a problem. Mackenzie says, really, inward, stop bringing that up because you know I give you space. Oh man, she never gave him space. He asked and asked and asked for space and never, ever got it. Brandy says, I don't F with people until I am ready. I getcha. Rainbow says, I wish I didn't have to people in the mornings. Yeah, I wish we all had that ability to not people until we're ready. Prentice, why? If I took a drink, I'd fall down. I must have missed a comment from Prentice. Rainbow says, bah, that wouldn't fly here. Okay. Yeah, it just totally cracks me up that she says she gives him space. She never does. She says, stop acting like you're all that. I give you space when you ask. I've been giving you space. What is your issue? Dom says, no, you don't. Mackenzie says, why the F do you hate me so much? I do nothing. I give you space now. We were just having fun. Literally the first thing out of her mouth every morning is, can I come over? When can I come over? How long can I stay? When can I come back over? Blah, blah, blah. Dom says, OMG, just shut up. Mackenzie says, I got you food. Yeah, whatever, Dom. No, I don't want to go to school today. Thanks. Dom says, me neither. Thanks. Stop talking. Mackenzie says, thanks for the unnecessary stress. Dom says, I'm still trying to go. Then don't hang with me so much. Mackenzie, then say you want time alone. It's that easy. Oh, he's been telling her every day, except for just like that last day when I was surprised when he actually offered to pick her up and stuff and come hang out. But the days before that, he was begging for any time alone and she just would not do it. She would say she would do it and then never, ever do that. Dom says, we talking 7 out of 7 days a week. Inward, it's not just that. I can't even go hang out with any of my friends. Mackenzie says, and that's not my fault. Dom says, I have no friends because no one wants to hang out with me if you're just always going to be there because you always are. Mackenzie says, F you, I'm leaving. You're effing D. Dom says, okay, you can leave me if you want, I guess. I'll miss you. Why would he throw in the I miss you? Because he's been trying to break up with her this whole time. Yeah, whatever. That's just a little unnecessary winding her up jab, I think. Because he's 18. She's 15 and he's 18 here. Neither one of them are mature. Mackenzie says, no, you won't. You're mean to me all day. And I just take it because I want to be around you. Dom, okay, then don't think I will. You're just around me too much, but okay, leave. I should probably be alone anyway. I need to work out my own problems. Mackenzie says, I'm not leaving unless you want alone time. Dom says, and I can't do that with you here all the time, so the problem's just going to stay. Mackenzie says, I'm sorry, I'm so terrible and all your friends hate me. Dom says, so if you don't want me anymore, fine. I knew this was going to happen. He's been trying to break up with her for weeks. Mackenzie, OMG, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. Let me come in the room. Oh, wow, they're still in the same house? Dom says, no, go home, I guess. Mackenzie, no. Dom, I'm not even going to be able to go to school. Mackenzie, Dom, you can go to school. Just have your mom call you in. Dom says, no. Mackenzie says, she's here. I just was talking to her. Dom says, no, stop texting me. This convo is supposed to be over. I'm not going to be able to get any work done now. So bye. Now, he said this convo is over twice, but he didn't stop talking to her and then told her he would miss her, Let's see. Brandy says, facts. Amos says, he is a detour to be fair. Yep. No reason not to be blunt to the point, Brandy says. Yeah, he goes back and forth with her, though. It's just weird. Ruth Carroll says he wants to sit her on a shelf. And Kung Fu says, it's not just his friends. Yeah, for sure. Mackenzie says, wow, see, that's effing mean. I try, then I get shit on. I'm sitting in your bathroom crying, Dom. This isn't how I wanted the morning to go. Did you block me? And then 5 minutes later, Dom says, okay, you unblocked. Okay, I haven't been able to go to school. I need to go to school. Mackenzie questioned, did you block me? Then said, yes, you have. And then said, then go. Dom says, I have way more bigger things going on right now than this. If you don't want to let me get my shit done, then you can go. I wonder what are the way bigger things. Like, he says he's bipolar a few times and that he has mental health issues, but I just can't help but wonder, what are the way bigger things? Is he stressed out about maybe getting caught dealing or anything like that? Amos says, I think the miss you is sarcastic. Yeah, I think you're right, but still it just kind of triggered her mainly because he's 18, and immature. Hey, Ivona, I'm glad you made it in. Bernie says he's mooching. Yeah, a few people said they unsubscribed and resubscribed and that fixed their notifications. I'm always hesitant to, tell anyone anything that includes unsubscribe because it's like, no, don't leave me off. But a few people did say that fixed their notifications. Kathleen says, I'm late. I took a nap. No worries, Kathleen. I hope you're doing good. Nap next for Brandy. Nice. Okay. Mackenzie says, get what done? I never said I wouldn't let you do anything. Why are you always trying to put it on me? Dom says, never mind. Mackenzie says, like you forget about me and made me wait at the mall for 10 minutes, then tell me to just go home. Then like this, I don't get it. Dom says, I'm about to just block you again. Mackenzie says, yeah, because that always works and makes it better. Or you can just let me in the room so I don't have to be sad in your hallway. Dom says, no, I can't deal with you. I need to go to school. Like it's only 8:22. This has been going on since like 7 a.m. Mackenzie says, how am I stopping you? Dom says, wasted almost a half hour over nothing. Mackenzie says, over nothing? You started it, Dom. Dom says, I can't go when I'm mad. Mackenzie says, you flipped and screamed at me because of the door that we can fix so easy. It sounds like she broke a door. And we've heard, like, Dom's mom, I think, talk about her breaking a door. We've also seen videos of her outside Dom's house screaming at him that she's going to break the door. Actually, okay, so this is going down on February 3rd and 4th. Let's see if there are any texts between her and Dom's mom at that time. No. Her text with Dom's mom started in April. Rosie's starting 2022. Nothing between her and her dad around that time about the door. Interesting. But yeah, she keeps saying, we can fix the door so easy. It's no big deal that it's broke. You didn't have to get mad. I'm just guessing that she broke the door. Yeah. Ivona says, my son is on his way for Father's Day, so I can't stay long today. No problem at all. I hope you enjoy your Father's Day celebration. I hope everyone who can is doing that right now. Kung Fu says, this makes me feel like I made better choices than I previously thought in my teenage years. Right? Holy hell. Like, I try to give them a lot of grace because they are both teenagers, but damn. Yeah, somebody went through the trouble of organizing them this way. I can't remember what the creator was. It was someone who posted them available like this on Reddit. And because the actual text that came from the FOIA on this, each text includes all of the metadata of the text like an email and makes it so hard to actually, just read the messages. So I'm really grateful to the person who did this. You're an unsung hero, Redditor out there. Kung Fu, says, Ivona, whenever YouTube asks if you like all notifications, what they really mean is, would you like to be notified when the live is over? I've noticed that I get notifications for some of the creators I follow, and it's like, this creator is live, and I click on the notification, and the live was like yesterday. Because our brains are accurate to us, but so underdeveloped still, right? Yeah, definitely in the teenage years. Amos says, we can fix the door so easy. You can tell Kinsey is a teenager with no concept of how much things and labor cost, right? For sure. For sure. Okay. Dom says, because you were being annoying, I fixed it inward. Mackenzie, yeah, okay. I'm effing annoying when I just got out and said nothing. Dom said, all you had to do was wait 5 minutes out there and not frustrate me. Mackenzie says, this is effed up. It's never just 5 minutes. Dom says, no, you wouldn't leave. Mackenzie says, wouldn't leave where? Your room? Because I don't want to be forced into your hallway. I don't want your family to see me cry. Whoops, I hiccuped, y'all. Sorry. Crying. Oh, does Dom have his own house at this time, or are they at his mom's place? Let me Google and see if that's known. If any of you in the chat know, let me know. One day Dominic Russo moved to his own house. Well, it just says that they moved in together following his graduation, but I don't know when exactly he got his own house, or if he was still living with his mom maybe at this time, because she talks about, not wanting his family to see them crying. Let me check the comments and see what y'all say. Joe King Rogue says, like the GRB text, that was annoying. Yes, thanks, Redditor. Yeah, that email file we got from Greene County, holy crap. It was nuts. Like, UV stepped in my white shoes, Brandy says. Not sure what she's referring to there. Kathleen says, I never remember being so messy like they are. Same. Holy crap, same. The text time, just we talk. Yeah, it had like every bit of the metadata on all of them. It was nuts. Ruth Carroll says, weaponizes her tears. Yep, absolutely. Ivona says, I did the same with the notification. Okay. Dom says, I'm done texting. You're pissing me off. It's only 8:25. Last time we did a time check, it was like 8:21. Like, this has been going on and on. Dom says, I'm done texting. You're pissing me off. I said so many times I got to get ready for school and you want to keep going. We need a break. Mackenzie says, no, don't go there. I effing hate my life. So you going to hit my phone? You going to treat me shitty? Or do I have to sit out here and be sad still? Wow, it's funny how fast you could switch mood. Be nice to Wes, but throw my phone. That seems a little out of pocket of Dom, like to hit her phone, like, or throw it or something like that. I mean, I would like to know what she was doing as well, but that's not cool, you know. Dom says, you started bitching, so I just hit your phone. Yeah, don't like that. Don't like that. Mackenzie says, thanks for embarrassing me. Hell nah. You're going to shut the door too now? You better let me in. And I mean, it's a D move to invite Wes over when we are in the middle of an effing fight. Really? Dom says, okay, chill with Wes. Mackenzie, no, come back right now. Dom, are you going home? I don't know if I'm going to school now. It's 9:27. Sorry, friends, I'm about to sneeze. Let me mute. Oh, hey, Lulu. I'm not showing as live. Well, dang, that sucks. Between the notifications and not showing as live, feels like YouTube's trying to get me. Ivona says these two should never have dated. Absolutely. Amos says it's almost like a sibling relationship. Ugh. But yeah. Oh, man. 1970 says Lulu, once in a while I have to hit the live button on the bottom red light. It comes on to catch up if that's what you mean. Bernie says, yes, siblings. Joe King Rogue says it does show us live for him. Maybe it's just hating on you, Lulu, for the notifications. We hope not. Ivona says, very toxic relationship. Dom was too old for her, but they were both too immature. Definitely. Like, they really, it doesn't seem like Dom really had any business living alone and certainly not dating a volatile 15-year-old. Dom says, are you going home? I don't know if I'm going to school now. Mackenzie says, I'm leaving at 10:30 to hang with Maddie. Dom says, okay. Mackenzie says, I took kratom, ha ha ha. Can I hit the wood like one time? Keep me unblocked. I'm not going to text you, but I want to be able to if I need to talk to you. And then a little later, Mackenzie says, I'll talk to you later. Try to have a good day. And same day still, but about 5 or 6 hours later, Dom texts her, hey, what's going on now? Mackenzie says, nothing much. Maddie's sleeping. I'm so bored. What about you? Maybe want to go get food? Like, why did he even text her? You know, hey, what's going on now? Like, she was leaving him alone for a little bit, you know? And Dom says, probably not. I'm about to be busy. I'm sorry about earlier, though. Okay, I guess he's apologizing for throwing her phone and stuff or hitting it or whatever. Mackenzie says, hey, cool, get over it. Just try not to do that. But what you doing? Dom says, at home, about to leave soon. Mackenzie, if you drop in shit and you want company, come get me. She wants to go on his selling rounds with him. Dom says, okay. Mackenzie says, what you been doing all day and where are you going right now? My head pounding. I drink some water, so hopefully it gets better. Want to hang out at 9:30. That's when I have to leave Maddie's. If your mom needs the car sooner, just come get me before. Let me know before 9:30 or come soon. I'm bored. Please answer. My head hurts. I'm trying to dip. Dom says, no, sorry. Mackenzie says, so we not chilling right now? Not even if I can get a ride. I can get a ride over. Please hang out with me. Dom, did you just answer then hang up on me? Call me after. I'm literally trying so hard not to cry in front of Maddie. Like, I'll be home in around 9:10. We can FaceTime if you want to talk for a little. Night, Bab, if you wake up soon or if you see this. Oh, FaceTime if you wake up soon or if you see this, she said. So yeah, like, Dom shouldn't have even texted her. Like, he should have left her alone, but he did because he wanted to apologize. And, he said sorry about earlier. And as soon as he texts her and apologizes, she starts begging to come over. Like, it will not stop begging, like, constantly. Dom says, okay, good night. I'll text you soon. Mackenzie says, okay, FaceTime me if you can. Dom says, okay. And then an hour later, or no, actually it's about half hour later, he says, you still up, which is just weird. Why he's tried so hard to get rid of her. Why does he keep reaching out? Doesn't make any kind of sense. Hey, Edith, good to see you. Brady says he scored. Joking Rose, hey, Edith. Kung Fu says, teenage relationships are supposed to be fun. The crying my life is over at the end. What is this unhappiness? Yeah, they are nuts. Nuts, nuts, nuts. Ivona says, I just realized I'm 14 seconds behind here. Whoops. Oh, man. Okay, Mackenzie doesn't answer until the next morning. She says, I'm tired AF today. When I took Kratom, it literally lasted so long. It also made me sleepy because I feel like weird and shit. Answer, because I can't talk to you in the morning. If you want to come, say hi, I'm here. Okay. Dom says, what? Mackenzie says, what you mean? You've been not answering all morning, so I just gave up and said, okay. Can you at least come give me a hug and shit? Bruh, I'm still tired. Okay, thanks for answering. You never answer when I need you the most. Dom says, I was on the phone with my mom. Text me. Mackenzie says, so I just told my mom the things she does that makes my life hard, and she was being like crazy. I feel bad, but I feel like she needs help. Like, she never just tried to get me to take my... I wish this one wasn't cut off there. That's weird. Dom says, I don't know. Mackenzie says, like, she calls herself the peacekeeper, and she is always the one that starts it by bringing up something that she knows will make me flip out. And then she tries to say she's getting me at 9 every weekday, and I'm like, WTF? So I got her to say 11, and then she's like, fine, but I'm not telling you when I'm coming. Like, WTF? She wonders why my head hurts every day and why I have so much anxiety. I feel like she's trying to trap me. Like, what's going on? That's weird. I don't know what she's talking about, because her mom seems like she would literally lay down in the mud and let Kenzie walk on her, or whatever. Very, very strange. It kind of just seems like Kenzie's trying to get the sympathy from Dom here, to be honest. Because when she says, I feel like she's trying to trap me, like, what's going on? That's just odd. Anyway, Dom says, I don't know, at least you don't have to leave till 9. Or leave at 9. Mackenzie says, yeah, but I don't know now. When I get home, it's going to be bad. And I'm going to feel bad. Like I wasn't even mean. I'm going to do a face mask. LOL. Unblock me on Insta. I'm sad as shit right now. Dom, okay. Mackenzie, when are you home? Let's get food or something. When are you coming back? When are you coming back? Babe. All right, I'm about to just sleep. Dom says, sorry, it took a while to get on. Mackenzie says, are you coming back soon? Dom, yeah, pretty soon. I'm going to leave right quick and sell a sack with Martin. Yeah, guys, he was dealing a lot. Like, I'm really curious if we're ever going to see him mention crypto or clothes later on. Mackenzie, where you at, though? Dom says, on lunch. Mackenzie, oh, all right. I was getting scared that you got pulled over or something because you were taking a while. Dom, do we have school? Oh, it goes to the next morning. Mackenzie, I don't know. Let me ask my mom. We do. Dom says, what? How? Mackenzie says, I have no idea. How bad is it out there? Dom, I don't know. Other schools close. Mackenzie, WTF? I hate Strongville. I'm kind of breaking out. My face sucks right now. Dom, yeah, my face sucked yesterday. Mackenzie, I put on an acne patch. I hope it goes away. And I really thought your face looked cute. My mom said tomorrow we probably won't have school. Door is locked. Please open. Dom, can I come in your room today? Tom bit me. Tom bit her? Who is Tom? I assume that's an animal of some sort. Dom says, not today. Mackenzie, okay, that's fine. Check Insta. Where are you at? I leave in 9 minutes. My mom said 11:30. Oh, they went from morning to almost midnight here. Dom says, nice. Mackenzie says, they skip me. FaceTime before you sleep. Dom, okay, you want to FaceTime now? Mackenzie, yeah, FaceTime me soon. Dom says, I'm waiting for Jim the cat. Mackenzie, LOL, Jim the cat, after FaceTime? Snow day? We have school. Dom says, gay. Dom, I wish they would not use gay as an insult. It's so annoying. Anyway, Mackenzie says, LOL. Well, I guess no bowling. I'll see you in like 40 minutes. I'm here if you want to come say hi or let me come in your room. Dom says, I'll say hi when I leave. Are you going to school? Mackenzie, probably. I'm thinking about it right now. Dom says, you better. I don't know why you'd make the effort to get here if you don't go, so you better go. Mackenzie, well, sometimes I just want to come. I can leave at 10:30 if you want me to, or if I don't go. Dom, if you ain't going to school, don't come. Mackenzie, but you know I do my work here sometimes. Why is it an issue when it wasn't all the weeks before? I don't go to school Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I didn't go Tuesday this week, so I'm probably going today. Dom says, issue wasn't addressed. Mackenzie, are you mad at me or something? Sorry. I didn't think it was an issue. You should have told me. Like, I've been doing this for so long and you never told me it was an issue. Now I'm used to coming and it's going to be hard to not because it's like a routine. She has had to beg him every day. He's told her not to. And she's had to beg him. Like, this isn't something they've just been doing. Yeah. She's delusional, y'all. A lot of 15-year-olds are, but like, damn, this is weird. Dom says, you be doing this a couple of weeks and I'm not mad. You usually come over and I think you go into school and then you just here all day. Mackenzie, oh yeah, I don't know. I thought it was okay because if I don't go, I just do some work here and wait for you to come back. I wasn't planning on going today, but if you want me to, I will. Dom, see, nah, either you go to school or go home. Mackenzie, why is this such an issue today when it hasn't been all the other times? No, it has been. We've been reading it. It's been an issue every single day. She says, I can't just go home. I have to wait for another ride now. Dom says, it has been. I just don't say anything. No, he was saying stuff. Mackenzie says, I thought it was cool. Sorry. Dom says, because I thought you were going to school and then you just here. That's a hella nah. Mackenzie, you should have said something earlier because I'm used to it and change is really hard for me. Dom said, it's literally like the third week of school. It's already been changing. That's not a good excuse. Mackenzie says, what you mean? I've been coming here in the morning for a while now. I'm just used to it, but I didn't mean to make it an issue. I didn't know it was an issue. I'm hella stressed now. Dom says, it was a tolerable issue. Yeah, I'm so stressed. Mackenzie, well, I don't want to go to school today, but I'll go so you're not mad at me. I was just going to write my shit here. I work today, so I'm leaving at 3:30. Dom says, yeah, go, because to be honest, I don't want you coming here in the morning, but I guess you have to come. Mackenzie says, or before if you want me to. Dom says, I guess you have to. So no matter what you hear, every morning, no matter what, I have no choice. You just. He sounds pretty hopeless there. Like, I feel bad for him. Even when he's acting a fool, like he's the victim here, and it seems like they've always been toxic, but she's always pushed things too hard. She has never listened to him one time when he asked for space. Like, just never. Mackenzie says, I'll go, but only for 1 hour. I don't want to be there around Phil. Dom says, here, every morning, every afternoon. Mackenzie says, Dom, I thought it was okay. Oh my God, you can't just flip out on me first day you tell me. Bullshit, it's not the first day. Dom says, I don't want to see you. Well, you here anyway. I guess I'd deal with it. I'm not. Mackenzie says, like I said, sorry 30 times. Wait, what? You don't want to see me when I'm here? To what? Like, she's pretending like she's never heard this before. And it's so annoying. It's annoying to me. I can understand why Dom's like, so over it. Dom says, you just confusing yourself. Yeah. If I don't want to see you, you just here anyway. Mackenzie says, tell me when not to come then. Well, he tells her all the time, do not come. And she comes anyway and bangs on the door. Dom says, what do you mean? You just come anyway. I'll tell you when to come, not when not to. Mackenzie says, on days you don't want me to come, tell me. Dom says, because if I don't say anything, you just hear anyway. Mackenzie says, you're never going to tell me to come. See, she knows he doesn't want her there deep down. She knows it. Dom says, no, don't come, and you come when I tell you. You're just going to come all the time. And when you can't, it's going to be the one day you have to come to school. Mackenzie says, why you tell me not to come? I'm not going to come. Or when you tell me I'm not to come, I'm not going to come. Why would I come if you say don't? Well, she does it all the time. Dom says, because you have to go to my house to get to school. You can't get to school without my house. Mackenzie says, I go to school Tuesday and Thursday. Dom says, I mean, I would think you would be able to, but I guess not. Mackenzie says, I'm sorry, I don't have a ride. Dom says, you need my house to get to school no matter what, and if you don't go, you just stay here anyway. And Dom says, Mackenzie says, where else am I going to go that's close to school? Like, I'm sorry, I can't drive. I don't have a ride, Dom. Why don't you get it? I never have a ride. I only have rides 7:30 to 8 and then 3:30 plus. Dom says, if you don't have to go to school, then why do you come to my house every day, even when you don't go? Mackenzie says, well, I get to see you, which makes me happy, which you should know. And I know I'm not going to work if I'm at my house. I'll just leave. You're making me really upset right now. Dom says, just if you ain't going to school, don't come here and try to go home after school too. Mackenzie says, so you just don't want to see me? I can't go home after school. Can I just stay here today, please? Like, I know if you're the one that decides if I come, you're always just going to say no. I'm just used to coming here in the morning. If you knew it was an issue, I could have tried to find a way around it. See, he already said, try to go home after school too. And she immediately, I can't. Can I stay here? Dom says, if I'm always just going to say no, why would you come over every day? And you can come, and no, you can come more than that. You just can't live at my house. We can hang after school like normal people. Mackenzie says, so you're just saying I could always see you on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Dom, actually, yeah, I mean, I guess. If you think that's what I said, then okay. Mackenzie said, I don't have a ride when you get home from school, and on days I work in the morning is the only time I can hang out with you. You don't know how sad this is making me, and my heart literally feels like it's sinking. Dom says, well, I guess that's what I get when I'm just trying to get what I want. I hurt people feeling and make their heart sink. All I said was I wanted for you to not live at my house. Mackenzie said, I just try so hard to get you to want to hang out with me, and I feel like you never want to. I don't live at your house. Maybe if you came to my house at least a couple of times, it wouldn't feel like that. Dom says, Kenzie, I've been saying we've been hanging out too much forever. I've always said that. I'm not going to come over when we hang out so much anyway. Yeah, like we've been reading in weeks and weeks of text where he tells her over and over he needs space. He doesn't want to hang out. Like, yeah, just Rainbow, it does seem like he is trying to, and he also tries to straight up break up with her, and she just won't accept it. Like, she'll just start pretending like she didn't hear it and be like, can I stay? Can I stay? Dom, I need weed. I don't think she's right in the head. Joking Rogue says, in the words of Jersey Shore, stage 5 clinger. Definitely. Kung Fu Panda says he gave up. Yep. Double time in it. Too funny, 1970 at work and her live. Kung Fu Panda says they had no control and seemed to add fuel to the fire, zero guidance. My mom really couldn't control anything I did either. I paid my own way. It was difficult to force anything. Kenzie's folks gave up. Yeah, they definitely seem like they totally gave up. And I don't think they tried to put any limits on her and Dom because, in my opinion, allegedly, I think that Dom was Mackenzie's dad's dealer. That's just how it seems to me based on these texts. Okay, I think I'm going to read for about 10 minutes more and then we will wind down and shut down. These two talk about food so dang much. I start getting hungry while reading these. I need to prepare like a 5-minute video before I go live that's like a decent palate cleanser video. And then whenever I get hungry, I can put up that video for y'all to watch, eat some food, and come back. Hey, Joy, good to see you. She says, bet. Ruth Carroll says, I've never saw Jersey Shore, but I've been there 1,000 times. What's funny is I've never saw the show, but I saw so many clips that like I know all the Jersey Shore catchphrases. I also think it's really cool how like Snooki was such a train wreck on Jersey Shore. But if you look her up today, like she's really got her shit together and straightened her life out, like having a good life. She's got kids. Like, yeah, she's super cool. Okay. Mackenzie says, I just think it's effed. Like, I know your family so well and you don't know mine at all. Just tell me when you don't want to hang. Dom, oh my God. Because, yeah, he's been saying stuff. Mackenzie says, of course it's going to make me upset, but I'll get over it. Dom, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then he disliked, just tell me when you don't want to hang. Mackenzie says, oh my God, what? Okay. Or don't tell me when you wanna. That will work too. Dom says, we need a break. Mackenzie says, no, Dom, don't. No, we don't. Dom's disliking and redisliking stuff. Mackenzie says, how come we are good one day and then you just hate me so much the next day? How do you think this makes me feel? Dom, yeah, we need to reset how much we hang out. Mackenzie, no, 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 no. Dom says, my N-word, you just came to my house and then you told me you weren't planning on going to school. Mackenzie says, I'll just Uber somewhere or something right now. I do that all the time. You know I do. Yeah, Kenzie, that's what he's saying. You do it all the time and he hates it. He's been begging you for space and asking you to stop. Dom sent the same text again. My N-word, you just came to my house and then told me you weren't planning on going to school and then told me you need to come here to go to school. Mackenzie says, and I know if we go on a break, something bad is going to happen. I do because I don't have a tide to school. God. Dom says, and then you tell me to tell you when I don't want to hang out. Mackenzie says, why can't you just have a convo with me? You always have to make it a fight. Dom says, how the F is that going to work? Mackenzie says, WTF do you mean? WTF you mean? Do you not want to tell me when you don't want to chill? You only want it your way. Dom says, now you're making me too mad. And he's questioning, reacting to stuff. Dom says, you're not reasonable at all. You only want your way. Mackenzie says, I said, tell me when you don't want to hang out with me and you get mad, like I don't get it. Well, he also literally just told her he doesn't want to hang out with her today. And her next words were immediately, but can't I hang out just today? I always do this. I don't like change. Dom says, Kenzie, I swear to God, if we don't go on a break, I'll just have to break up with you. Mackenzie says, Dom, stop. Dom says, because normal people ask when to hang out, not when not to. I'm not going to say, yeah, Kenzie, I don't want to chill today. No, I'm going to say, Kenzie, you want to chill. You got shit fucking backwards. Mackenzie says, when I text you in the morning, you ignore me. And Dom says, no N-word wants to be smothered. If I don't text, I don't want to talk. Mackenzie says, then how the F am I supposed to know if you want to hang out with me or not? Well, if he doesn't want to talk to you, he doesn't want to hang out. Like this girl is intentionally being dumb to keep the conversation going. Dom says, if I can't breathe for more than an hour by myself, I'm a freak out because I'll effing tell you if I want to hang out like effing normal people. Mackenzie says, if I want to hang out, I'm going to ask you. Dom says, this should not have went this far. Mackenzie says, I'll just walk home or some shit soon. I didn't want it to be like this, especially right before Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is a week away. This is on the 7th. Dom says, it should have ended at, oh, you don't want me to come over every morning even when I don't go to school. Okay, I'll do that, Dom, but no. Mackenzie says, I won't. I'm just saying it's hard to change routines. Dom says, you gotta blah, blah, blah. F out of here with that bullshit. Then you're going to make me feel bad? Mackenzie says, only if you understood my anxiety. Dom says that I want more space. Mackenzie says, no, Dom. Dom says, because you're going to say, give me more space, but never do. Because you're going to say you're going to give me more space, but never do. Mackenzie says, how come I can never say anything right, even when it's what you want me to say? Well, like, She never says what he wants her to say. He wants space, and she always wants to argue, no, we need to be together more. Dom says, like, yeah, I make your heart sink. When I want space, I want to be able to do things. Mackenzie says, if you say, oh, Kenzie, I want time with my homies, or oh, Kenzie, I want alone time, I'm going to give it to you. No, he never has. We've seen him ask over and over and over, and she never has, not once. She flips out, shows up at his place. Dom says, alone. No. You say, why can't I come with? Mackenzie says, see, I can never say anything right. Dom says, you get mad if I go to Kyle's or Carl's or anywhere. You ask to go to Trevo's. Mackenzie says, no, I don't, WTF. Oh, yeah, she does. We saw it. Dom says, done. Mackenzie says, I get sus with Kyle because Kyle always has girls over. Dom says, break. Mackenzie says, no, please, no. I can't do that. It will kill me. Dom says, till Valentine's Day. Mackenzie says, no. Dom says, okay, no, if you can't trust me or leave me alone, then we ain't chilling. Mackenzie says, I can leave you alone. I said it 2,000 times. Dom says, yeah, like if you are afraid there's girls at Kyle's when his room is small as F and there is always inwards there. Mackenzie says, I trust you 1,000%. Or 10,000%, she said. Dom says, like, yeah, I'm just going to spit mad game at hoes at Kyle's. Like the F, no one just want hoes around. The fuck, you got shit twisted as F. Again, you said you'd leave me alone. You said. And then when I ask, you don't. So yeah, we on a break. If you don't like it, then leave. And then I'll have to feel bad. Mackenzie says, every time we go on a break, something bad happens. Dom says, because I hurt your feelings. Mackenzie says, I don't want to get effed over again. Dom says, we only went on a break once. Mackenzie says, you should understand why I feel that way too. Dom says, break, I don't care. Mackenzie says, and when we did, I got cheated on twice. Dom says, no, you didn't. Mackenzie says, with my best friends. Dom says, okay, fine then, I'm done. Mackenzie says, no. Dom says, I guess we can't go on a break. Mackenzie says, stop, we can. Dom says, so I'm done. Okay, bet. Mackenzie says, just not a long one. 4 days, not 7. Dom says, till Valentine's Day. Mackenzie says, no, that's too long. Dom says, look, I'm missing more school because I'm pissed off because you can't understand English. Mackenzie says, I need you to see you're my closest friend, the only person I care about. Please, a short break. I can't go that long without seeing you. Dom says, we not the same then. Mackenzie says, and I don't want you to block me on anything while we on a break. Dom says, I'm alone. I do my shit alone. I practice my shit alone. Mackenzie says, I know you don't like being around me as much as I like to see you. Dom says, I ball alone. See, and then you say shit like that. Mackenzie says, it's not a big deal. Dom says, F out of here trying to make me feel bad. Mackenzie says, I'm not read. Dom says, if you piss me off, you getting blocked and then getting unblocked when I feel like it. I'm sick of getting mad. Mackenzie says, no. Dom says, I don't deserve this, trying to keep you happy all the time. Mackenzie says, and I do? Dom says, my happiness first now, mine. Good Lord, they are such a mess. Yeah, they should have been smoke friends only. Lulu says she got cheated on way more than twice. I've been hearing that that's coming up in the text. Curious to see that. Rainbow, we were on a break. Oh my God, I hear that in Ross's voice yelling at Rachel. We were on a break. Oh man. Yep, like the classic Friends line. Dude wants a break bad. Let me get a drink of water. I'm going to try to read just a little more because I'm kind of curious to see how this ends. Like, he's maintaining this fight quite a bit longer than what they usually do. They usually give up and are good. And yeah, I'm just very curious. Mackenzie says, I try so hard to make you happy and shit you don't even know, Dom. So effing hard to the point where my head is in pain. Oh, just earlier this day, her head was in pain because of her mom. Her mom was trying to trap her. She says, can we talk in person? Please, please, please. Dom says, you don't understand happiness. No, hell nah. You can't make me happy. No one can. It's in yourself. That's why I need to be alone. Yeah, he's kind of spitting facts there, you know. Mackenzie, how are you trying to keep me happy? Then you say it's in yourself. Dom says, because whenever I don't want to chill, you get my hurt. Mackenzie says, I'm happy when I'm around the people I love and care about. That's when I'm happy. Dom says, you rely your happiness on me. Mackenzie says, no, I don't. Dom says, most of the time, yes. Mackenzie says, of course I get sad when you don't want to chill. It sucks because I could be around you 24/7, but you're not like that, and I don't really care, but it's got to hurt when I want to see you and you don't want to see me. Can we just forget about this and I'll leave? Dom says, I guess I'm missing Play-Doh now too. Now I effing got to get high to go to school. I don't want to be high all the time. This is why I hate myself, because I want something and then you make me feel like a bad person when all I want is to be alone. Mackenzie says, being alone all the time sometimes isn't good though. Sometimes it is, but not for a long time. God, she's so annoying. So annoying. I don't understand why Dom's still talking to her. Like, I would have just blocked her. I would have just blocked her and moved on with my life. Dom says, like the F, I'm going to end up alone by myself and miserable as F probably because I never get to be alone now. So I'll probably just get my karma and really be alone. Mackenzie, no, you're going to get your alone time, Dom. You're not going to get karma either. The only F thing you did was the AUD, odd, and Jada shit. Wanting alone time doesn't get karma. She's talking about the friend she calls Audrey and Jada. Dom says, well, you keep making me feel like I'm doing something wrong. Mackenzie says, like when you tell me you want to be alone, it upsets me. And of course, I'm going to try hard at AF to see you because I like to see you and be with you. And I'll say it 10,009 times. But I get you need to be alone. Dom says, and they wanted me when we weren't friends. They hit me up first. Mackenzie says, it doesn't matter if they texted you first, Dom. You knew. I don't want to talk about it. That was the worst time of my life. I don't want to talk about it. Oh, this is interesting because Mackenzie is 15 and Dom's 18 here. And I've always heard that they've been together since she was 13. So it sounds like he was cheating on her earlier than this with other younger girls. I don't know. Dom says, whatever. Are you just going to hold this against me forever? Mackenzie says, no, I'm over it, Dom. Dom says, you always do. You just did. You can't say you didn't. Mackenzie goes, why can't I say that? Why can't I say that? Because she did. Dom says, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm done. We done. F it, F life. Mackenzie, no, please no. Dom, please no. Please no. Please don't do this. Dom says, okay. Hold up and listen to how dumb you are real quick. Mackenzie, don't call me dumb, Dom. WTF. I'm hurt. There's a difference. Dom says, you bring up Jada and Audrey all the effing time. That shit was so long ago. Okay, never mind. I'm done talking. You made no effing sense. I don't even feel like trying to explain it. What I was saying is stop trying to make me feel guilty about everything. Mackenzie says, I don't try to at all, but I'll try not to say anything like that. Dom says, the worst time of my life. Mackenzie says, Dom, you don't know how bad that effed me up. Don't bring it up. Dom says, see, again. Yeah, I'm out. Maybe we can talk again next week. Mackenzie says, I'm just asking you not to bring it up. It makes me want to effing cry. Why do you have to keep bringing it up? Just stop. Well, she's the one who brought it up in the first place. Dom says, I'm done missing school over you getting mad. You feeling guilty over you. Done. Not doing this. You not doing this to me anymore. Mackenzie says, I'm leaving soon. Dom says, effing deceiving F. You ain't snaking around no more. F out of here. Mackenzie says, what you mean snaking around? Dom says, my N-word slithering your way around, getting your way. Mackenzie says, I never get my way. Dom says, like you always do. I never do the F you mean. Mackenzie says, and if we did, we wouldn't be on a break and I would be in the room with you. I'd be allowed to come in the morning. Dom says, I'm about to just book a month vacation and get the F out of here. Mackenzie says, don't. Just chill out, Dom. Don't. This don't have to get this bad. She says, like, I'm trying to find a ride home. I'm sorry. I don't want to beef with you at all. Dom says, inward, hell nah. You get to an extent. If I got my way, you'd come to my house no time before 2:30 and leave no later than 10:30. And we wouldn't chill more than 5 days a week. Probably like a good 4. Mackenzie says, just 4? I wish I knew you felt that way. Dom says, like, for real, I'm done losing motivation. Mackenzie says, shit hurts, but what am I going to do? I'll try to do that for you. Why are you losing motivation? Dom says, because you always effing piss me off and never let me do anything. Mackenzie says, I let you do anything you want, OMG. Dom says, if I didn't have to hang with you all the time, I could get way more shit done. No, you don't. Mackenzie says, it's crazy how we can be so good yesterday, then today you just hate me. Mackenzie says, okay, then we don't need to chill all the time. Sometimes it feels like it's me, because when you're alone, you don't text me ALM. I don't know what that means. She says, and then you block me. Dom says, because you set me off. Mackenzie says, how? By texting you, hey, what you doing? Dom says, yeah, I need to go to your house to go to school, and then you just never go to school. Mackenzie says, I'll just not go to school. I go 2 days. I said that 30 times. Dom says, and you're here every day. Every day. I miss Play-Doh now. Thanks. Mackenzie says, I'll just stop coming over in the morning. Well, he begged her for that over and over. Dom says, I needed to get more tests done, but I'm a bad person. Thank you. I asked for that last week. Oh, looks like this is going to go on for quite a while. They're only at 9:22 a.m. of this day. Like, good Lord. Oh, 1970 dropped some memberships in, y'all. Congrats to everyone who got one. Oh, yeah, it's very ironic, Kung Fu Panda, that she brought up karma. Ooh. McCathers says 100. Lulu says, did she blackmail her way into his house? It kind of seems like the reason he ends up letting her in the end is because she's always threatening to go to the police. She talked to him about that in text last month. I've been wondering how she ended up living there. I really think she threatened him and blackmailed him in, like what you said. Yeah, he wants her to go to school. He wants her just out of his house. Like, he doesn't want to hang out with her. Like, he's made that very clear over and over and over, but she is not interested in getting the picture. She just tries to keep saying the opposite until he agrees to it. Crazy, friends. Absolutely insane. Well, thank you all so much for joining in on this. I appreciate y'all being in here. I'll probably go live again tomorrow and try and finish reading this fight if I feel good. Y'all know the drill. Just depends on how I wake up feeling. Yeah, Joe King Rogue, he was really clear about leaving it alone over and over, asking for space until he started losing it because she just wouldn't. Very manipulative, Ivona. Kung Fu says, I'm wearing a red t-shirt, so the poo reference is cracking me up. Lulu says, yeah, blackmail. I definitely think so. Thank you, Kathleen. Thanks for being here. Hope you have a good weekend too, Joe King Road. Good night, everyone. Rainbow Ribbons. Brandy K. We will end here. Appreciate y'all. See you tomorrow. Thank you, Blake 1723.
Thank you.